Hey there, K-Korner fam. Welcome back to another exciting episode on our channel. I'm your host, Crown, and today we've got an incredible lineup of stories that will leave you both shocked and entertained. From heartwarming tales of justice served to bizarre encounters and a glimpse into the world of customer support. We've got it all. So grab your popcorn, settle in, and let's dive into these captivating narratives. A year or so ago, I had an encounter with an entitled mom. I was walking my dog Hades, black German Shepherd, and sometimes people get scared of him, so I'm understanding about it. He's a big dog. So right now I'm studying veterinary medicine. My university is outside the town on a hill, and there are basically all kinds of critters around. We have like a little fenced area where the university lets the dog use for classes, run free, and play whenever the weather allows it. Students are allowed to use it too. There is some very old equipment for dog training. I decided to take Hades there. As a rule, only vet and zoology students are allowed there without a dog. So I took him there and ran the course a few times. Then out of nowhere, a woman that didn't look like a university student or a teacher came to ask me to leave because I was carrying her kid. They had no pets with them. Hades was the only dog there, and I know all of the vet and zoology teachers but didn't recognize her, which meant the rule applied to her. She shouldn't be there, and certainly, the kid, around 7 or 8, wasn't allowed in. The kid ran to Hades and started pulling on his ears. Now Hades knows what kids are like. I have a little cousin. I've trained him to just wait for me to stop them or try to back off. Since he was on a leash, the back off option was not going to happen, so he just looked my way and waited. I stopped the kid and showed him how to pet. I didn't touch him, and the mother transformed into a demon. "How dare you touch my son, you creep?" and so on. Hades doesn't like when someone is yelling at me. He's a breed that guards. I know he's not going to attack, but he growls. So when the mother started yelling and flailing her arms around, he started growling at her. That made her even angrier. The kid had gone off to play on hoops for the dogs, and I tried to calm her down, and then she slapped me. Now I'm a good boy. My mama taught me manners. I'm not gonna slap the woman back, let alone in front of her kid. I yelled for the university security. Hades was still growling, and she tried to slap me again, which I dodged this time. And deciding that apparently slapping me won't work, she kicked Hades. The witch kicked my dog. Security, an old grandma, came and she attacked him. I knew him. He was the sweetest old man. I saw red. I grabbed the woman and did like a hug from behind, just so she wouldn't be able to move. The kid was crying, the guard was on the ground, and the students from the university had heard the noise and came to see and called the police. She tried to frame me, telling the dog was threatening her son and that she should be put down, and that I hit her and touched her son inappropriately. Now I'm part of the student council. People know me and the teachers know me. I'm not a violent guy. Police was skeptical, and I had a handprint on my cheek. Let's just say she's in a lot of trouble. She shouldn't have been there in the first place. She assaulted me and my dog, plus the guard. I pressed charges for the kick. I wouldn't if it was just a slap, but she kicked my dog. The nerve of some people. So a bit of backstory first. I, 25 female, have about 5 different things wrong with my left foot/ankle. 3 forms of tendonitis, and 2 joints with osteoarthritis in my foot. I also had surgery on this ankle about 2.5 years ago. I deal with a lot of pain and have a very noticeable limp. I'm in pain almost every single day of my life, and currently there isn't much I can do to alleviate the pain. If anyone were to look at my ankles side by side, they can instantly notice that the left one is quite a bit bigger on a really bad day because it swells up to about twice its size. On to the story. I worked 10-hour shifts and range from either being on my feet the whole time to anywhere from possibly sitting most of the day. Yesterday was a very busy day, so I was on my feet the whole time. By the time I got off, I was in a lot of pain, probably about a 9 on the pain scale. When I got off of work, I needed to stop at the grocery store to pick up some veggies to go with dinner last night. I was doing my shopping and was just getting through the store pretty slowly so as not to cause any shooting pains in my ankle/foot. All of a sudden, this elderly Karen stops me and goes, "I just hate your generation. All you guys do is fake injury, so you don't have to work. Your limbo isn't real. Get over yourself. Okay, I tried to walk away. I was so exhausted and really didn't care what she thought. I just wanted to get my stuff and leave and go home to ice my ankle. Karen walks up behind and pretends to stumble and full on kicks my left ankle. Oops, sorry. I yelp in pain and now fully pissed off while also crying in pain. I turn around and say, okay witch, look at my ankles. Do you notice a difference in sizes? I'm actually in a lot of pain. I just got off a 10-hour shift who's been on my feet the whole day and have multiple injuries in this leg. Karen surprised Pikachu face. Well, how am I supposed to know that? You aren't because we don't know each other. But you decided to make my problems your business by saying I'm faking it and then kicking me. A nice employee walks up after hearing my yelp and commotion. What seems to be the issue here? I was accused of faking an injury because my generation sucks, and then was kicked in my bad leg. She's faking it, and you can tell she can just walk fine. I didn't mean to kick her, I just stumbled and it just happened. A nice employee turns to me. Would you like the police called to file a report? Karen goes pale white and she starts to stutter. No, I just want this lady to get lost and to finish shopping and to go home. Karen tried to continue pleading her case but nevertheless was being escorted out by the store employee. She became increasingly agitated and in a fit of rage, she attempted to assault the employee, causing a scene that drew the attention of other shoppers. The store manager, witnessing the escalation, decided to call the police for assistance. Upon arrival, the police officers tried to calm Karen down, but she became more aggressive, refusing to cooperate and even attempting to assault one of the officers. The situation quickly spiraled out of control, leading to Karen's arrest for assaulting a police officer and creating a disturbance. Meanwhile, me, still in pain and witnessing this chaos, decided that Karen's actions cannot be overlooked. With the support of the store employees and other witnesses, I pressed charges against Karen for her initial assault on me. The police took my statement and Karen was taken into custody, facing serious charges for her actions. Hey guys, please don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you never miss out on our latest stories. And of course, feel free to drop a comment below sharing your thoughts on your own similar experiences. And if you enjoy what you see, show us some love with a thumbs up. Your support means the world to us. I am working customer support for a casino site, not telling which one for privacy reasons. So I'm used to people being rude and insulting me or my mother. Usually, I don't think that much about it. I just insult the client in my mind or out loud in front of the computer. Doesn't matter, I'm not doing calls, and I think about something else. But 1 week ago, here comes this awful customer. The guy straight up starts the chat by insulting me. Never mind, I proceed with my polite and kind speech that I'm here to help. And there the guy is going on a rant for at least 10 minutes. You're a thief. Give me back my money, you son of a witch. And so on. I let him go on, then I'm asking what's wrong because so far it was just 10 minutes of nothing. I didn't know what money the guy was talking about. Deposit? Withdrawal? Winnings maybe? Hell if I know. Then the guy proceeds to tell me that he played hundreds of dollars, lost them all, and wants a refund. So I proceed as kindly as I can to tell him that the terms and conditions don't allow refunds of money played by the player. We have special rules if money was used by a third party or in case the account is hacked, and that I understand it's bad news. I understand that news is not nice, I really do, but I'm not the one who wrote the rules, I am merely the one that tells them to people. And most people are not even taking the time to read the terms and conditions. I'm basically like a cop giving you a speed ticket. He didn't put the speed limit, but everyone hates him anyway for giving tickets and reminding you of the rules. So when this guy started ranting some more and started insulting my mother, my family, and wishing for my death, even stated he wanted to run me over in his own car, I just saw red. I kept my cool, kept being polite and friendly, but the guy continued his nonsense. Usually we can only ban people having gambling problems or they demand it. So far the guy didn't display any gambling issues and didn't demand anything. But I'm evil, and so I started planning in my head. I wanted to get rid of this guy, but I knew I couldn't just end the chat. Since I already tried that with our offensive language template, basically an automated answer just telling you that you're rude and the agent doesn't want to deal with you anymore. But he was coming back every time. So I went for the least reasonable option and started pushing a little. But politely, I was never mean and I did so on purpose, to get the answer that would backfire in his face. At one point, he said really bad stuff to me, like so nasty that I cannot even tell it here. Bam! You wanted to really insult me and wish for my death? Well, I proceeded to close the account for absolutely offensive language, told my superior about it, and he applied the 3 years ban for this guy on all the brands of our company, like not even just the website I'm working for. I'm satisfied with myself, so time passes, like an hour, and then the same guy enters a live chat on my software and proceeds to tell me I don't understand, why is my account closed, and why am I banned? I start laughing, but like really loud and with a really evil tone. My co-workers looked at me like, that's it, he finally lost it. But I managed to answer the ex-client explaining that the management found his language absolutely intolerable and banned him. I explained it to my co-workers and they found it a bit unethical on my part to have done that, as I didn't have to push a ban on a guy. And it's true, I didn't need to push it, but I wanted to. And it felt great, not gonna lie. And after reading the whole conversation, even my co-workers understood my move. P.S. I know that losing money is a stressful moment. I did lose money in my life as well, but in my book it doesn't excuse plain bad behavior and wishing death on people. And as bad as I'm trying to let things slide and not take it personally, I think that sometimes enough is enough. And the fact that this guy had the nerve to write to me that he did not understand why he was banned after telling so many awful things just confronted me in my decision that we were better off without him. And to be honest, I do not understand why we let offensive language slide in customer support chats when gaming companies ban you for telling one insult in public chat to another player. My sister-in-law, let's call her Shirley, is a class act. She has basically been taking out credit cards as well as loans from banks, friends, and family since she turned 16 because, in her words, she didn't want to be a poor, low-class loser, like her parents. She has now run up about $300K in debt. And this is in a poor country, so it's even worse. She has at least 3 maxed out credit cards, as does her husband. They have even used their daughter's name and ID number to take out more cards. I am not sure how many. She has borrowed untold thousands from her loser parents as well as from other family members, whom she has criticized endlessly for being low-class in private. She borrowed several thousand from my husband several years ago, but he stayed on her to pay him back, though it took a few years. When he gave her the loan, she had said it was to pay off her house. She has a 5-bedroom villa in a very nice area of a nice city. Instead, she put down payments on 2 brand new cars, even though both of her older ones were relatively new and working fine. Her daughter attends an exclusive private school and always has the latest tech. They go on beach trips a few times a year. Her philosophy is pay the creditors off just a bit by borrowing money from friends and relatives, who are easier to put off than die in massive debt. She thinks she's a genius, that no one else can manage money like her, and she has poked fun at how my husband and I prefer low-key living as opposed to having all the newest, flashiest things. But here is what makes her a truly terrible person. She basically bled her parents, especially her mom, dry. Her parents, my in-laws, own their own home. They are not rich, but their pensions cover most of their needs, and my husband helps them out as well. My mother-in-law found out that she had cancer a few years ago. My husband wanted all 3 kids to pitch in and take her to the capital for treatment and set her up in an Airbnb while she recovered. Shirley refused to contribute, saying the state-run medical system was fine. Her husband is a doctor there and he'd oversee things. She said that. My husband was enraged, but his mom agreed to it, so not much he could do. After a grueling year, my mother-in-law was cancer-free. Shirley's husband did periodic checkups, occasionally sending her for labs. She remained in remission. Then a year later, she began complaining of a pain in her back. Shirley and her husband brushed it off for months, saying she just needs to rest more. Then one day, my mother-in-law couldn't move her legs. After being rushed to the local hospital, the doctors found she had a massive tumor in her spine that had essentially broken her back. The same song and dance occurred again, my husband insisting she get private care in the capital and Shirley rejecting that. She'd take care of her in her own home, she said, as her husband had confirmed the cancer was too far advanced and she'd just need hospice care. Again, an enraged husband but my mother-in-law agreed. They could hire a team of nurses, Shirley said that. But could my husband pay for that because Shirley can't right now? She'll pay him back. So my mother-in-law went into hospice care at Shirley's house. We were there as much as we could be, but we had a baby and lived far away. Once while we're there, my mother-in-law pulls my husband aside and tells him she's scared because Shirley has been pressuring her to sign some documents and the painkillers were fogging up her brain and she didn't understand. Shirley told us they were just power of attorney documents to allow her to make emergency decisions. We were uncomfortable, but since mother-in-law was living there and Shirley's husband is a doctor, we thought it would be okay. Then my mother-in-law passed. The day of the funeral came and Shirley and her family were nowhere to be found. We called and called, but no answer. We asked one of the aunts about it and she rolled her eyes and told us what had happened. This aunt had been planning the funeral with Shirley and my father-in-law. During the planning, she discovered Shirley had convinced my mother-in-law about a year ago, right before the doctors found the cancer, and while her doctor husband had been caring for her, to take out a life insurance policy on herself, with Shirley as the sole beneficiary. We would later find out that she somehow bribed a notary to fake the death certificate date and cause of death so she got more money. I'm not sure how that worked, but that's what I was told. In the country we were living in, pretty much anything is possible with a bit of cash. She had also convinced my in-laws to sign over ownership of the house to her so she could secure another large loan from the bank using the house as collateral. The house was actually supposed to go to my husband and brother-in-law. My husband and brother-in-law get on the phone with Shirley and confront her. Shirley starts screaming at them, telling them their lives have been so much easier than hers and that she has done so much more for their parents than they have. And just telling a whole load of lies about how my husband has always been a freeloader. He has worked since he was 13, paid for his own education, and has a high-level job after working like a dog for 2 decades. She said everyone has always taken advantage of her, and that's why she's in so much debt. Everyone else was at fault except her. We went no contact after that, but brother and father-in-law have gotten sucked back into her orbit again and both have loaned her money. She has even been trying to get my father-in-law to let her sell the house for him, and then she gives him an allowance every month out of the money from the sale, and he can live with her. Meanwhile, my husband and I moved to the US and are just enjoying our debt-free, entitled personless lives. And there you have it, folks. Another episode of K-Korner in the books. I hope you enjoyed these incredible stories as much as I did sharing them with you. Remember, life is full of unexpected twists and turns, and sometimes justice prevails in the most unexpected ways. Stay tuned for more amazing content, and until next time, stay carefree, easygoing, and keep that crown on top. Thanks for watching, and see you soon.